Audrey Meadows remains best remembered for her sharp, steady, and witty portrayal of Alice Cramden on The Honeymooners, a role that cemented her place in television history and made her a beloved figure across generations. Yet behind that composed and confident on-screen presence existed a far more layered and intriguing life that many never fully saw or understood, giving rise to the idea that she lived a kind of double life for decades. On the surface, Audrey embodied professionalism and charm, navigating the golden age of television with grace while earning respect for her intelligence and business acumen, particularly at a time when women in the entertainment industry often had to fight for recognition and fair treatment. However, beyond the spotlight, she carefully cultivated a private world that operated on a very different wavelength from her public persona, one defined by strategic thinking, independence, and a deep awareness of the industry's inner workings. Unlike many of her contemporaries, Audrey was not content to simply play her part and fade into the background of Hollywood's machinery. Instead, she took deliberate steps to protect her interests, famously negotiating for a share of the profits from The Honeymooners, a move that would later prove to be both groundbreaking and financially rewarding. This duality, being both the approachable television star and the shrewd, forward-thinking businesswoman, created a contrast that few outside her inner circle fully grasped at the time. While audiences saw a devoted actress bringing a fictional character to life, Audrey was simultaneously building a legacy behind the scenes, ensuring long-term stability and influence in an industry known for its unpredictability. Her private life also reflected this sense of separation, as she maintained boundaries that allowed her to preserve a sense of normalcy and control away from the relentless attention of fame. Friends and colleagues often described her as warm yet guarded, someone who understood the value of discretion and the importance of keeping certain aspects of life out of public view. This ability to navigate two distinct worlds, one highly visible and one intentionally concealed, speaks to a level of discipline and self-awareness that is both admirable and, in many ways, rare. The notion of a double life in Audrey Meadows' case is less about secrecy in a sensational sense and more about the quiet complexity of a person who refused to be defined by a single role or identity, choosing instead to operate on multiple levels simultaneously. As more details about her life and career have been revisited over time, a fuller picture has emerged, revealing a woman who was not only talented but also remarkably strategic, using her position to secure opportunities and protections that many others overlooked or were denied. This revelation adds depth to her legacy, transforming her from a familiar television figure into a multifaceted individual whose story resonates beyond the confines of her most famous role. It also challenges the way audiences perceive public figures, reminding us that what is visible is often only a fraction of the whole, and that the true measure of a person's life lies in the unseen choices, efforts, and intentions that shape their journey. Audrey Meadows' ability to maintain this balance for so many years highlights the resilience required to thrive in an environment that constantly demands exposure, offering a powerful example of how one can remain both present and protected in the face of overwhelming public attention. Ultimately, her story is compelling not because it reveals something scandalous or shocking, but because it uncovers the depth and intentionality behind a life that many assumed they already understood, inviting a renewed appreciation for her contributions and a deeper respect for the complexity that defined her both on and off the screen.